Good morning. This is Ralph Lindy with the Home-Based Business Success Podcast. We'll be right with you after this. And good morning. For me, it is a very early morning. I got up at 3 o'clock to do this podcast. I like to get the podcasts published around 5 or 6 o'clock New York time, and I am trying to keep to a consistent posting schedule on the podcasts. But yesterday, I got into a little bit of a problem. I did not record my podcast before it was time to go to bed, so I thought I would just get up early today and get a couple podcasts in. One will be published immediately for today, which is this one, and the next one will be published later for tomorrow. So trying to keep myself ahead of the game here. But, that's one of the perils, really, of home-based business, is that you can get distracted. Life happens, chores have to be done, things have to be done around the house, the family, and sometimes you feel like, okay, you've got to let something slide in order to get something important done. And so what do you let slide? The business, the family, the chores. If you're in a situation where, the roof's beginning to leak and things like that, or gravel needs to be spread, or, property needs to be maintained, sometimes you have to give in to that and just go ahead and do what needs to be done. But then, when you do let one thing slide, you have to be there to make it happen, maybe get up a little bit earlier the next day, and just get on the ball, get caught back up, and get motivated, get working. So that's the situation I got myself into yesterday, so I'm making up for it here with a little cup of coffee and getting up a few hours early to do a couple of podcasts. But enough about me. The topic today is a little bit about me. Why I quit network marketing and why I came back to it. Now, my first experience with network marketing was not a very positive experience. I mean, in the beginning, I thought it was. I thought that this was a great company. I thought that they had a great compensation plan. Actually, I didn't really understand that much about the compensation plan. I fell in love with the products. They had some really great products. They had been around for about, and I didn't know this either when I first got interested in their company, but they'd been around since the 1950s. And when I discovered them, it was the 1980s. So what I'm talking about here is about 40 years in the past for me. And I got into this network marketing company, which was, it was a direct sales type thing where they wanted you to go door to door, talk to people, and try to sell them waterless cookware. And not the easiest kind of a job to get into. But the reason I'm talking about this, my first experience with network marketing, why I initially left it, and why I'm coming back now, it kind of echoes a podcast I did a few podcasts ago about network marketing and about why people tend to quit it within, their first 7 days sometimes, their first 30 days, sometimes within their first couple of months. But there is a high burnout rate when it comes to network marketing. And not everybody really feels like they're cut out for this sort of a thing, especially when they first join it. They may join a company all excited because they love the products like I did, or they love the compensation plan, or in a really good company, they should have great products and a really great compensation plan. So they may feel that the company has all that going for them, and then they get actually involved in trying to get out there and making sales and being rejected by their friends, their family, their loved ones, and they suddenly feel like they're getting the double whammy, in other words. They're doing a hard job that, you just can't put a happy face on it. I mean, it is a difficult job in the beginning if you're not used to it and if you don't have the proper mindset. And then add to that a problem that a lot of people have in network marketing or direct sales is that not only are they asked to do what can be a difficult job for them personally, but they're also feeling a lot of personal rejection from the very people they thought would be supporting them, the very people they thought would be on their side, the very people that, they thought would give them moral support. And so that's why a lot of people do burn out in network marketing. And to illustrate this, I'm going to share my first 30 days in network marketing, why I quit, and why I came back to it. So let's just jump into it. I'm going to play a little piece of music before we get going. And it's a little song by the Celtic Reggae Revolution, Positive. And we'll be back with my little story right after this.
Positive people. Positive with light. Happier.
You know this life is always changing. Nothing stays the same. Life has got its beauty, but life has got its pain. Take the rough with the smooth and get into the groove. Nothing ever was sure, so you ain't got nothing to lose. No, positive, that's the way I wanna live.
Positive change. Happier.
Positive, that's the way I wanna live.
Happier.
There ain't no problem, there's only solutions. There ain't no problem, no. There ain't no problem, there's only solutions. There ain't no problems, no. Positive, that's the way I wanna live.
Positive change. Happier.
Positive, that's the way I wanna live.
Happier. Positive love.
There ain't no problems, there's only solutions. There ain't no problems, no. There ain't no problems, there's only solutions. There ain't no problems, no. Let's talk. Take the shocks. Don't be blocked.
Positive love.
Release the vibes. Unlock the love. Unwind.
Happier.
Free your mind. Be kind to yourself. Take your time. And be free. Be yourself. Don't try to please everybody else. Be true to you. What's to lose?
Positive love.
Dance away these troubles.
And good morning. And again here, we're going to get into my story. And I'm telling this because I think that a lot of people out there that have had some previous experience with network marketing, or maybe going through your first 7 days of network marketing right now, you can definitely probably relate to where I was about 40 years ago in my first experience with network marketing. And in the beginning, of course, I wanted to keep everything positive because I thought this was a great company, and it was. It's still in business today. It has stood the test of time for, I think they've been around for about 60 years now, so a pretty neat company. And I thought their compensation plan, it sounded fair. I thought this would be a good thing to try, as a part-time summer job is what I thought. And I was in college at the time. This was back in the 1980s. And I was in college studying, noble things, religious education, religious studies, and philosophy. I was a philosophy major, which would later influence my later life pretty hugely by, as Bruce Lee said, thinking deep thoughts about being broke. But yeah, I was looking for something at that time. I was in my first year of college and looking for something that I thought I could do as a part-time job that would help bring in some money, help kind of finance me, because I was just wanting to try it out. And everything I heard about the company was great, at least until I started talking to my family about it. And that's when everything just started suddenly turning negative. And my dad had been involved in direct sales back in the 1950s. He had been selling Rainbow vacuum cleaners door to door. And that was a really great vacuum cleaner. However, the door to door part was pretty hard. He didn't last in that very long at all. He bought his demonstrator vacuum cleaner, used it, showed it to his mom and dad, and they were not very happy with him. Showed it to his family members. They weren't very happy with it. And so he decided he would just quit. And, he couldn't really make it in door-to-door sales or direct sales. Today we don't really worry about going door-to-door. We've got the internet, but back in the pre-internet days, getting out there physically, talking to people, door-to-door, face-to-face, belly-to-belly, that was the way it was done. We didn't have email marketing. And so, Dad's first experience with direct sales, network marketing was very negative. And when I came home, he was about to hit the ceiling. Because unbeknownst to me, the company that I had joined while I was away at college, they had sent Dad a letter. And the letter was addressed not to Frank Lindenberger, but and not to Francis John Lindenberger. They got his middle initial wrong. They addressed the letter to F.U. Lindenberger. An interesting clerical mistake, no? But yeah, he got that letter and he read it and he showed it to me and he said, "Ralph, you see how they addressed it? F.U. That's exactly what I feel about this right now. F you. When I read this, I could not believe that you would be falling into a pyramid scheme, Ponzi scam, door-to-door sales type company. I mean, he really didn't know what he was talking about, but he was using a lot of big words and big phrases to kind of make it look like he knew what he was talking about. And I didn't know that at that time because I really didn't know what a Ponzi scheme was or a pyramid scheme. I did know what door-to-door was because that's pretty much what I had agreed to, and the company had said, we're going to give you support, we're going to give you training, we are going to teach you how to do this. So I wasn't really too concerned. And the company did. By sending that letter, they were trying to smooth the way for me. But when Dad saw that letter, all those old memories of his own first attempt at trying to go door to door and doing direct sales came back to him, and all that pain, and it just came right up to the surface and then was vented out on me. And I mean, Dad, when I came home from college for the summer vacation, and I was living at home at the time during the summer vacation, he was not supportive. My mother was not supportive. They were both saying, you are a fool for getting into this, and you're just not going to make any money this summer. And that was what I heard. I mean, from that moment forward, I had a little bit of peace in the house. Not much, but I mean, every time it was like, hey, supper's ready, and boy, it's a shame you're not going to be making any money this summer because you're in this direct door-to-door selling scam. And I mean, it was like that. It was like constantly, like a toothache. It's constant and steady throbbing pain like a toothache, and there was really no escape from it except getting back out of the house, away from them, and being out there trying to do the direct sales job. And of course, in network marketing, in direct sales, in any kind of sales type situation, you are faced with a lot of rejection on the job, let alone the rejection that you feel from your family, your friends, your loved ones. And so when I could escape the house and get away from that negativity there, I was out in the field trying to make contact with people and trying to see if I could find prospects and drum up sales. And what did I find out in the field? A lot of rejection initially. And that was because that's just the nature of the game. In any kind of sales, if you are a good salesperson, you should expect at least 10 no's before you hear your first yes. So you've got to hear a lot of no's before you start hearing yes. And if you're a not-so-good salesperson like I was back at that time, I was a good philosophy student. I was a good meditator. I was a great guy for studying the scriptures and getting closer to God and stuff like that. But as far as selling stuff, no, I was just starting out from square one, absolute novice, absolute beginner. And so I didn't know this at the time. They really didn't clue me in on this before I quit. But I was at the stage of the game where I probably should have expected to hear the word no 20 times or 30 times before getting my first yes. And so right from the get-go, once I got back home and got hit by what Mark Varnell calls the rejection rocket, in quoting from his book, Your First Year in Network Marketing, I just felt like this is an almost impossible task for me. I really didn't feel equipped to handle this. I'm getting rejected by my family. I'm getting rejected by people that I reach out to trying to sell, my products, which are great products, But how do I let them know? And see, the thing is, you can have the best products. Your company can have the best compensation plan. But if you don't have much faith in the company, okay, and I thought I did, but if you don't have a firm, unshakable confidence, and if you're not able to radiate that confidence, you're not going to get very far. And even if you do have great confidence in your company, not everybody is going to want what you have. Not everybody is going to want the product. Not everybody is going to want to buy a rainbow vacuum cleaner door to door, especially if they come knocking on your door unsolicited and say, "Hey, you wouldn't want to buy a vacuum cleaner, would you?" And waterless cookware is like, that's not the first thing. You know, people don't wake up in the morning thinking, "Golly, I just wish somebody would come to my door selling waterless cookware so I could take a look at what they have to offer." No, you really have to be persistent. You have to be a good salesperson, friendly, and just be willing to take a lot of rejection before you start getting people in the mood to say yes. And it's a difficult job. It's kind of like, telemarketing, calling people up on the phone. You used to do that too. A lot of people hanging up on your ear. Not because you are a bad person, not because you're trying to sell them a bad product, but because they're just not in the mood. They're not ready for what you have to offer at that point in time. And a lot of people, though, they take that kind of rejection, they take it personally. And that's the trap I fell into. I took this rejection personally. And I didn't hold up very well. I didn't last for very long. I gave it a good 30 days. And then I was doing some telephone marketing relating to the direct sales opportunity that I'd gotten into. And I decided, okay, this going door to door and talking to people in shopping malls bit isn't working out very well for me. Let's just try the phone. And so when I had the house to myself, I sat down at the phone. I took out the phone book and I just started calling people at random. And I was picking people that were within like a 30-mile radius of where I was. And I just started calling people. And my spiel was, would you be interested in looking at some waterless cookware or China or Waterford Crystal? And my first few attempts at that, I think I had the phone hung up on me about 10, 20 times that day. And I had a lot of people just, hanging up. And back in those days, we had solid phones. And if you wanted to slam the phone down on somebody to where they could hear it on the other end, yeah, you could do that. The phones were well made, not like the little pocket phones that we have today that, you slam it down on the counter and it breaks. No, these phones were made. They could double as a lethal weapon if you wanted to. But, yeah, I had the phone hung up on me very rudely several times. And then I got a hold of this little old lady, and I went through my spiel. I said, you wouldn't be interested in some Waterford Crystal, would you? Because at that time I was pretty flustered. I didn't really know what to say. And the lady shocked me. She thought for a moment, and she said, well, I would be in the market for some Waterford Crystal. I don't know about flatware or China, but Waterford Crystal, yeah. I would definitely be interested in seeing what you have to offer in that area. And so I said, well, great. And I wasn't really prepared to take the next step. You see, I was so used to hearing no or just having the phone hung up on me that I didn't really know what the next step should be. So I just got my pen and paper out and I said, okay, what is your name? ma'am, and give me your address. And I've got your phone number here, obviously. Is this a good phone number to call you back on? And I got her information. I told her, okay, either myself or my supervisor will be following up with you in the future. And, we'll make an appointment, and we'll show you that Waterford crystal. And she was happy. She was elated. And I was just floored that after having been rejected so many times, both face-to-face and on the phone, that I had my first lead that I had gotten all by myself. And so I took that information, and I was on a high for about an hour. And then I went out and I started doing a little bit more, face-to-face marketing. And I felt fairly good after that, because I was still going on that energy of having been told yes by this lady. And then I got home, and my dad met me in the driveway, and he let me have it with both barrels. He said, I promised your mother I wouldn't go into this with you, but I just hate seeing you throw your life away. And out of love, the LOVE word, he proceeded to take a bulldozer to wreck all my hopes and dreams. And I know that's not what he started out to do, but I went from having had my first positive experience doing something on my own in network marketing, in direct sales, and just had him plow a bulldozer right through that. And I don't know, just the wounded child within me came to the surface, and I knuckled under. I did. I knuckled under. Looking back, it was pretty crazy, because, I should have stood my ground. I should have gone ahead and followed up with that lady that wanted to see my Waterford crystal and talk to me. But no, I didn't. And we had a meeting of the company at that time. Our supervisor was wanting us to check back in, see what we were doing, see how things were going, see how many leads we had managed to create on our own. And after having had a very devastating talk with my dad, I attended that meeting and I quit. I turned in my sales kit. I told the guy that, the family business is in trouble, because it was semi in trouble. My regular summer routine was helping out my dad in our family-owned business. And, I did kind of let him down in that area by, he was expecting me to help him at the family business. And here I was wanting to do direct sales. And so, I just told the guy, I can't do this. I've got to help out in the family business. I'm sorry. But what I did do, I took that one lead that I had produced, gave it to him, and said, here, this is a lady that I did find. She's interested in Waterford crystal. Maybe somebody else can follow up with her. And looking back, I quit right on the verge of possible success. Napoleon Hill, in his book Think and Grow Rich, tells the story of two prospectors that staked a claim, and they stopped digging literally 3 feet from gold. They had found a vein of gold. They had followed it down to a fault line, and they were doing pretty good with gold mining. But when they hit the fault line, and they didn't know it was a fault line, the vein of gold ended. And they dug in different directions, trying to pick up that vein of gold again. And they couldn't find it. So they assumed they had gotten all the gold out of that mine that they were going to, and it wasn't really enough to pay their expenses. So what they did is they decided, okay, we're going to sell out. We gave it a good shot. We're quitting. And they sold the mine to a guy that was a junk collector. And they sold all their equipment to the same guy who was a junk collector. But the junk collector decided, I think that there's still some gold left in this mine. So he brought in a geologist to look it over. And the geologist said, yeah, this is where they found the first vein of gold. And this area here, this is a fault line from one of the many earthquakes that they have in California, where they were prospecting at the time. And the geologist said, I bet if you dig about 3 feet in this direction, you will pick back up on that vein of gold that the other two guys had found and thought they'd lost. So the new mine owner, he did. He started digging, and 3 feet down in the right direction that the geologist had pointed him in, he picked up on that vein of gold again. And it was a very rich vein of gold. And he kept on digging and digging and digging. And that one junk man that bought the mine at a discount made a fortune off of that gold. Because literally, the previous owners had stopped 3 feet from gold. And I don't know how they found out. Maybe the guy called them and told them or sent them a telegram. But yeah, the previous owners heard about that. And of course they felt sick that they had given up just 3 feet away from a huge gold strike. And that's the way I felt because, looking back, I thought, okay, I was just getting my mojo going. I had just gotten my first yes. And then that very same day, I decided to flush it all away and just go work at the family business. And, I just felt like I was doing what I thought I should do for my family, but at the same time, I was knuckling under to the pressure. And if you're into network marketing for the very first time, I know that pressure feels real. You're putting a lot of yourself out there on the line. And it's like you're staking your reputation, too. Your friends, your family, if they've had negative experiences in network marketing or direct sales, they are going to be having the attitude that, this is a scam. It's got to be a scam because it's network marketing. And they're going to lay that all on you. And that's where you really do need to be prepared. Because, yeah, it's probably, unless you're raised in a family of entrepreneurs, I was not. I was raised in a family that was, we were hourly workers, working poor at that time, and self-employed, working poor. And, just didn't really have the entrepreneurial mindset. And if your family does not have that entrepreneurial mindset, they are probably going to give you a lot of negativity about the company that you are getting involved in or are involved in. And you want to be careful with that because there are some scams out there. That's why you've got to get to know your company really well. Do your homework. Check them out. How long have they been in business? How many BBB complaints have they gotten? What's their pay plan like? Do they pay out on a regular basis? Just do your research into the company and do your own due diligence and find out for yourself, is this something that I really want to do? And do that research from the very beginning. And then after you've checked it out, go ahead and give it a try. See, I didn't do any of that. And when I got hit by that negativity rejection wave, I folded. I stood up for about 30 days under that pressure. And then finally I just felt, okay, I've got to quit. I've got to salvage something from the summer. I've got to salvage something from my sanity. but I always felt that I had given up too soon and that I had stopped 3 feet away from gold. And that feeling came back to me a few years ago. See, back in 2011, my wife and I got very serious about our own home-based business. And our first home-based business was not a network marketing opportunity, but it was kind of like a direct sales type situation. You see, it was a lawn care service that we ran for 3 years. And I had to go out there, and I actually did. I went door to door sometimes looking for customers. And I was successful this time around going door to door. I handed out leaflets, handed out my business card. I talked to people. I almost had the dogs sicked on me at one point in time. But I went through that and got a few good leads of customers. I advertised in the paper, and we got some good customers that way. And I was starting to build up my business to the point where I thought, okay, I can let my primary hourly job go and just build up the home-based business and just see how it goes. And I made that decision, and we put our effort into building up the home-based business. And it was a success. It wasn't a radical success, like we weren't rolling in the money in the very beginning, but we were making enough money to make ends meet. We were keeping enough money coming in to, keep the bills paid, keep the lights on, and just keep up with things. And actually, I felt at one point in time I was doing actually a lot better, and this was early on in our home-based business. I felt like I was doing a lot better than I was at my hourly job that I had just quit. So after that bit of success in running a home-based business, out there looking for customers, I started thinking. And I started thinking, okay, here I am out there looking for customers, prospecting for customers, building a team, as it were, a team of customers, people that want my service, need my service, and are willing to pay for my service. And then I got thinking, how is this different from that network marketing gig that I tried back in the 1980s and then quit because I thought it was too hard to go out prospecting? And you see, the thing that called me back into network marketing is the understanding that with network marketing, you don't just get paid for your own work. When I'm running my own home-based business that is providing a product or a service for the people in my area, like I was with the lawn care job. I got paid for doing the job. I was still trading my time and my work for their money. But I wasn't getting paid for anybody else's activity. And with network marketing, with the network marketing companies that are legit, that are out there, that have a good compensation plan, you begin getting paid for the sales that you make. You get paid commissions for those sales. But if you're doing well and you're building up a team of affiliates that are, come in under you, you also get a piece of the action from their sales. You get paid a little bit of commission off of their activity. So it's not a situation like it is when you're working as an hourly employee or as a self-employed person where you're trading your time for other people's money. You not only get paid for your own effort, but you also get paid for the effort made by your team members once you develop a team and once they start making sales of their own. And armed with this new knowledge, I got looking back, my first experience back in the 1980s, And my first experience in, the early 2000s, building up my own work-at-home company, doing landscaping and lawn care work. And the realization just suddenly hit me. Ralph, you are out there prospecting, bringing in customers, building up a team of customers, and getting paid once for every job that you do. How much more difficult would it be to be out there recruiting, building up a team of not only customers but also affiliates who are working under you in a network marketing type deal and getting paid once they start getting paid too? And the lights just went on, and I began to realize more fully what I had said no to back in the 1980s, back when I listened to that wave of rejection and listened to my dad and listened to my mom and just decided, okay, I'm not cut out for this. Well, by 2011, I'm a slow learner, people. It took me a long time to figure this out, but by 2011, I finally figured out, hey, I am cut out for this. I'm just not selling the right thing. I was selling a good thing, my own product, my own services. I was presenting myself as a lawn care guy to people that needed lawn care services, and I was making sales. I was actually doing pretty well. So what if I took that same confidence, that same energy, and put it into network marketing? And that's why I decided to come back to network marketing. I've got a few companies that I love. I got one in particular, CTFO. It stands for Changing the Future Outcome. And it's a health and wellness business that allows you to develop a direct sales team, a team of affiliates that work under you, and you get paid commissions when you sell product. You get paid some commissions when you get team members built up and they start selling products. They've got bonuses. It is really one of the most lucrative compensation plans that I've seen in the industry. It's also one of the most complicated because it's got a lot of different facets to this compensation plan. It's got, 7 different facets to it. So it is a multifaceted compensation plan, and something that you can begin to do pretty well with once you develop your team, once you get your team going, once you get your mojo going. So I decided to try my hand at that, and I am building that up right now. And if you're interested in joining my team after listening to this very long story, go ahead and catch me on ralphlindy.com. It's my main website, and I've got CTFO advertised in the sidebar there. And just click on that image, and you can go ahead and join my team. But if you're thinking about getting into network marketing, do get into it with the right attitude. Check it out, do your research, and know that you will probably be hit with a lot of rejection, because that is the one thing that I hear from a lot of entrepreneurs out there that share their story, is that their families were not supportive of their decision to get involved in network marketing, in direct sales, in any kind of entrepreneurial venture. A lot of folks were told by fellow employees, when they quit their job, well, we'll be seeing you back because, you're going to fail. Everybody I've known has failed doing what you're trying to do. So, goodbye for now, but we'll see you back here in a few months. And that's the level of support that a lot of people, I would say the vast majority of people, get when they go into anything like network marketing or direct sales. Everybody that's tried it, that's gotten into it with the wrong attitude, that expected to be an overnight success and started, finding out that they had to go through a lot of no's before they'd get their first yes, and began taking that level of rejection personally. And really, if people are telling you no when you're doing network marketing or direct sales, it really isn't a rejection. But we think of it as rejection. But what the person is saying is, I just don't have a need for that. Or I'm just not ready for that. Or I'm not ready to listen to that spiel right now. Thank you very much, but I've got other things to do. Good day. And as time goes by, they may think about your offer and they may change their mind. They may become willing to listen at a future point in time. But it is not a rejection of you. It is just them saying, I'm not ready to listen to this. And they may never be ready to listen to that. But it's not a rejection of you as a person. But a lot of us in network marketing, when we're told no, when people give us a cold shoulder, ignore us, or just say, I'm not interested, we tend to take that personally. But it's not really a personal rejection. But if you can keep telling yourself, the whole go for no type of approach. Beautiful book. Go for No by Andrea Waltz and Richard Fenton. If you can get that go for no attitude, that tells you, okay, no is something that I have to listen to before I get my first yes. And I really want to hear that first yes, and I want to hear that second yes, and that third yes, and that fourth yes. But in order to get there, I got to go through this sea of no. And I'm willing to travel that sea of no to get to that first yes, and that second yes, and that third yes. And if you can just fortify yourself with that knowledge and get your mindset developed to where you not only don't mind hearing the word no becomes like music to your ears, because you know, okay, I don't have to spend any more time on this person right now. They've said no. Now I'm off to my next person and see if they'll say yes, and if they say no, great. Then I go off to my next person, and every time I hear the word no, my odds begin to increase of hearing that word yes. So the go for no philosophy that I have begun to implement in my practice, in my marketing techniques, it's like, okay, it tells you you've heard the word no 5 times, 10 times. The odds have now increased dramatically that your next contact is going to say yes. So every time you hear the word no, fortified by that mindset, fortified by that go for no philosophy, it's actually good news, because it's telling you you're getting closer and closer and closer to a yes. And then if you get that yes, you're getting closer and closer to actually making a sale, bringing on a new associate, bringing in a new affiliate under you, and you're building up your team of customers, your team of affiliates, and you are getting closer to being a success in direct sales, network marketing, whatever it is that you're doing. Same go for no principle applies. Not everybody is going to need or want what you have to sell, or what you have to offer, what you have to provide. So they are going to say no. That's a given. And if you stop after hearing the word no 3 times, 5 times, 9 times, you're not going to make it in anything, really. We live in a world where we hear the word no a lot. That's just the way it is. Don't take it personal. Just keep right on going. Keep right on going until you hear that word yes. And then go ahead and make your sale. do your thing. And just keep right on going. So, knowing what I know now, I feel like network marketing is the obvious choice for me. I've been successful in building up a team of customers. Now I'm working at becoming successful building up a team of affiliates and helping them to get built up to the point where they too can go out there and start building up their team. Get their customers in line, get their team members going, and start making sales of their own. And when that happens in the world of network marketing, when you become successful and you start bringing in team members and you help them to become successful, you become even more successful. And when your team members bring on team members and they work with those team members to help them become successful, then it creates a situation where, in the long run, everybody wins. But it also is a situation that in the short term, we face hearing the word no a lot. And the question that we have to ask ourselves is, how many no's am I willing to hear every day before I decide to quit? Okay? Am I going to hear the word no 5 times and quit? Am I going to hear the word no 10 times and quit? Am I going to hear the no maybe 20 times, 30 times, and then quit? And you see, the thing is that marketers that decide that they are going to hear the word no 20 times every day and stick to it and don't give up, those are the marketers that become the top earners in the industry. And that's the mindset that we have to develop, as beginners in network marketing. Am I willing to hear the word no 20 times a day and keep that level of, activity up for 6 months, 9 months, a year, and then see where I'm at? Or am I going to melt after being told no 5 times and decide to throw in the towel? Now, I threw in the towel back in the 1980s, probably after being rejected about 30 times in total. I'd gotten my one yes, but I'd been rejected 30 times in total by absolute strangers, and then faced a wave of rejection from my immediate family members. And so I quit after about 30 days. And, I really wasn't going at it very strong because, I only had 30 no's in 30 days, so I really wasn't going for that top tier, go for no philosophy like I know to do now. But the question that we all have to ask ourselves in this industry is, am I willing to go the distance? Am I getting into this with eyes wide open? And am I willing to stick it out until I become successful? And in my own story, I've been successful operating a home-based business since 2011. We have earned a fairly nice, comfortable income. And now, using network marketing opportunities, I want to kick it up to the next level. I don't want to just have a comfortable income for now. I want to be able to earn an income that is next level, extraordinary, and something where I can be building up a team, not just of customers, but of affiliates, associates, people working under me, who will start rewarding me by their activity using the network marketing compensation plan. And if you decided you want the same thing, then congratulations. But stick it out. Get involved in a network marketing company that you can afford to stick with for the long term. And fortify yourself. Get your mindset to the point where you don't mind being told no. And also realize that your immediate family, a lot of your friends, a lot of your co-workers, if you got a job working for somebody else and you're trying to do network marketing on the side, they will not be very supportive of you by and large. They may be laughing at you behind your back or to your face. Be cool with that. Be comfortable with that. Don't let that be the negativity barrage, the rejection rocket that brings you down. But rather develop the mindset where that criticism becomes like rocket fuel. And just think to yourself, I'm going to show them. I'm going to show them. I'm going to show you. And just get in there and be successful. And let that success, be your superpower. But it doesn't happen overnight. There is a lot of work involved in this industry. And there's a lot of rejection. Learn how to deal with that. You can do a whole lot better. So I think that's all for now. If you do want to join me in any kind of business, I've got my main blog, ralphlindy.com. You can find me there. And if you want to get involved in CTFO, that is a free business opportunity. You can get involved. There's no monthly membership fee. There is no sales kit to buy. It is a very good network marketing company to get involved with. It is involved in selling health and wellness products, weight loss products, CBD oil products, and health and beauty products. So, you can find that on my main blog too, ralphlindy.com. And if you're wanting to check out network marketing for yourself, that would be a good company to try out and just see if it works for you. See if that's what you are interested in doing. And again, these opportunities, they're not for everybody. Certainly that company, the company that I got involved with in the 1980s, I thought it was, for me. And looking back, it really should have been for me because I did. I loved the products. I loved the company. I loved the people I was working with. I just didn't really have what it took at that point in time as an 18-year-old lad to put up with all the rejection that I was facing at that time. But if you feel that you can go ahead, take that rejection, take all those no's, and just stick it out until you start hearing those yeses and start making those sales, then you've got what it takes. But just make sure that you stick it out. And with a company that's free to join like CTFO, you can stick it out easily. I mean, there's no financial obligation you really have to make. You can learn at your own speed. You can go as fast or as slow as you wish to go. And it's a great starter network marketing opportunity is how I think of it. So if you're into health and wellness, be a good place to start. So that is it with my long story. And we will be back tomorrow. We got a question I'm going to answer. And I think this will be a shorter podcast. What is meant by failing faster? And why is it helpful? Why is failing a good thing? And it seems counterintuitive, but yes. And we'll be going into a little bit more about the Go for No philosophy and failing your way forward. It actually is a good thing. So next podcast, what do we mean by failing our way forward, failing faster, and why is failing faster actually a good thing? So until then, thanks for dropping by, thanks for listening, thank you for hanging out with me on this very early morning, and we will catch you again later. I'm going to close out here with a song here by Mark Goudray. I'll be on your side. And we will see you later.
I will serve you faithfully. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I will soothe you gracefully. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Some might try to take you. They might try to break you. So look up. I'm always on your side. You can always trust in me. Yes, you can. Always can. I will be there when you need. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Sky might be cloudy, crowd might be rowdy. So look up, you'll see the sun will shine. Times of worries, don't be afraid, but look up, I'll be at your side. You can always talk to me. Yes, you can, always can. I will listen attentively. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Well, you can always count on me, yeah, 'cause I'll be there for you, my friend. I will be there, I will be there, I will be there.